Well, good morning. Our focus this morning is Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. It's where we get the saying, pride comes before a fall. So this morning I'd like to focus on pride. But let's go back to the Old Testament and into the Book of Obadiah, where there is a focus on a kingdom, the Kingdom of Edom, a small kingdom geographically, but very influential. But the book actually refers to two kingdoms, the Kingdom of Israel and the Kingdom of Edom. And what is essential is that Obadiah receives a prophetic vision from the Lord. To understand the Book of Obadiah, we go even further back into the Old Testament, all the way back into the beginning, into the Book of Genesis, where it tells us that Isaac had two sons. In Genesis, we read about two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Now, one brother represents the flesh and the other the spirit. And we need to remember that both offspring go on to become nations. God is viewing them as nations as we read it later on. Esau, which is Edom, is a godless nation. It's turned its back on God. And Edom has become a great and strong kingdom. Now, Obadiah steps onto the scene, telling them they will be brought down. And if we read the book of Obadiah, we are told that their greatest sin was pride. This pride had deluded them. Now, pride, we know, is a state of the heart. It declares the ability to live without God. In Obadiah, we see that pride had elevated the kingdom of Edom. The kingdom was full of pride. Pride was their main obstacle. And because this had not been dealt with at any stage, it had grown greater and greater, and it led to other difficulties. It's well worth pointing out that pride is an attitude. Edom, instead of helping Israel in its darkest hour, when the Babylonians came and destroyed it, they stood and they cheered. They did a few other things. The Israelites weren't helped whatsoever. They were betrayed by their blood relatives. They had been looted. They were prevented then from running for their lives when the enemy came. Well, God was aware of all of this, and their time was coming. They had a brief reward. Soon they too would be overcome by the Babylonians, and later by the Maccabees, and then they would be finally destroyed when the Romans came. In Galatians 6:7, whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. God had judged Israel, but he never destroyed them. God had judged Edom, and the kingdom was destroyed. Obadiah centers on the devastating power of pride. It reminds us of the consequences of living in a self-serving manner, following through on your own feelings, your own desires, without considering the impact on those around us. Today we remind ourselves that we follow a servant king. And in doing so, we are here to serve. We're here to bring light where there is darkness.